third commercial, typically you guys are taking the TiVo button and so hopefully you won't click right past me today. Curtis and the guys and Paul and Jeff are tough to follow. These guys are really good speakers, so hopefully I can fill their shoes. And what I really liked about Curtis's speech was he asked a lot of questions. I'm going to try to do the same. So, anybody here has telekinesis? Raise my hand. All right. So, who's being asked to do more with less today? Anybody? Right? Some of you guys have seen lately that the economy's not doing so well. Have I heard that? Right. So, struggling out there, right? So, we're seeing a lot of IT organizations that are having to downsize, do more with less, et cetera, et cetera. And in some cases, if you make it through the chops, I think somebody and I talked about this outside, you might have a better job security because you have more to do. So anybody here backing up over the WAN? Do replication across the WAN? Right, so that's there. What we're going to talk about is the ability to do replication and backups across the WAN in a more efficient manner using deduplication technology, very similar to what Jeff talked about, but across the WAN. And that's using Riverbed technology. Anybody here heard of Riverbed? So you're using Riverbed. A couple. Okay. So everybody agrees this is more important place on disaster recovery today, under compliance and the threat of all kinds of scary three-letter acronyms, right? I see some heads nodding. So companies are relying on replication and backups across the WAN to remove hardware and remove actual data from remote offices. So when you have data in a remote office, you got to have Becky back it up, and she's got to change the tapes and make sure she puts them in her purse and take them home with her. Anybody right? So we got that problem there. So the what if question: what if we could remove that tape drive out of the office, right? So Curtis brought up some really interesting points. Doing more with less. He was able to take a customer that had 20 tape drives. It was backing up 20 terabytes. It was taking 24 hours. So he was able to do that, go from 20 tapes to 6 tapes, do more with less. Go from 60 terabytes backed up to 20 terabytes to 60, doing more with less, right? Cutting his window in half. So what we're talking about here is the ability to move the data from the remote office and keep it in the data center. Now, there's only one reason anybody can tell me why you have remote office servers. Only one reason. Speed. End user experience. Speed. Who said speed? There's only one reason. It's because the end users say, I want a server in my office because this sucks. Right? Everybody heard that before? It's slow. So you have to push the data out to the edge, right? But what if we can make it just as fast for the end users and do backups? And keep that data at home, where we can back it up, love it, and touch it, right? We do the backups locally, the end users have their speed, and we have the backups in-house as well. So the problem is, we got to back up, we got low latency, or low bandwidth, high latency pipes, and then we have trouble, the backup processes. Anybody ever have the backups kick off across the WAN, and the end users say, hey, what's going on here? The world's coming to an end, right? You got competition across the wire. So, how would Riverbed help in this situation? Riverbed, you'd put a piece of hardware on either side and perform backups across the WAN. To do that today, not a lot of people raise their hand, and my guess is because you couldn't. You couldn't complete the process in a reasonable amount of time. So we didn't have a whole lot of hands raised when you said backup across the WAN. Who's doing backups in remote offices? A lot more, right? So what if you could move that process and back up across the WAN and do it in a very quick amount of time? That would be optimal, right? So what the Riverbed technology does is it deduplicates transfers across the WAN. So if I say to you guys, I like International Business Machines personal computers, do you like International Business Machines personal computers?